Arnold Schwarzenegger was born on a cold morning on July 30th, 1947, in Thal, a small Austrian village. In a world where dreams seemed far away, Arnold grew up in a humble home, with his father Gustav, a strict police officer, and his mother Aurelia, a warm woman who also struggled to keep the house in order. Life was simple, but marked by the relentless discipline of his father, who believed in the power of hard work and the value of obedience. From an early age, Arnold felt pressure to be something great. In his home, where religion and discipline were paramount, he wondered if there was something more to life than the simple life his parents led. His answer came when, at the age of 14, he discovered bodybuilding. Young Arnold watched bodybuilders in magazines and dreamed of having a strong, unbeatable body. But more importantly, he dreamed of escaping the restricted life he knew. The hours of training were not easy. The lack of equipment and financial resources were daily challenges. Even so, his obsession with improving, with transforming his body and mind, began to grow. For Arnold, bodybuilding was not just a sport, it was the key to a better future, a way to break through the barriers imposed by his austere reality. The burning desire to be someone great did not come without sacrifices. He knew that to be the best, he would have to leave everything behind. Not only his physical limitations, but also the life he knew, which he would later understand as the starting point of a journey that would lead him to be something much greater than he could ever imagine. Cuando Arnold llegó a los Estados Unidos en 1968, él era apenas joven immigrant de 21 años, con ingles precario y pocos dólares no bolso. Mas algo dentro dele estaba claro, él estaba determinado a conquistar América, o burco dos mares sanjos do mundo. Com su físico de fisiculturista y uma visão firme do futuro, él sabía que esa sería sua chance de oro. Logo, él enfrentó a dura realidad. A cidade de Los Angeles no era o paraíso que él imaginara. Sem recursos financeiros, él se viu trabalhando em diversos empregos para se sustentar. Em uma cidade repleta de pessoas que lutavam pelos mesmos objetivos, o jovem Arnold era apenas mais no meio de multidão. Trabalhava como porteiro, fazia faxinas e limpava academias, mas seu foco nunca desviou. Ele estava sempre treinando, sempre melhorando, buscando a perfeição. Foi em 1968 que Arnold conseguiu uma vitória importante em sua jornada, o título de Mr. Universe. Essa conquista marcou uma virada em sua vida. Mas, apesar de ser grande feito, ele sabia que ainda estava apenas começando. O fisiculturismo era seu primeiro passo, mas ele tinha muito mais em mente. Ele queria ser mais do que apenas fisiculturista campeão. Queria ser uma estrela, queria ser reconhecido mundialmente. Queria provar que, sendo immigrant e sem recursos, ele poderia alcançar o topo. A luta diária, os sacrifícios e as dificuldades financeiras não o impediram. Pelo contrário, cada obstáculo serviu para fortalecer ainda mais sua determinação. Ele estava construindo seu império, passo de cada vez. Arnold sabia que, para ser grande, ele precisaria mais do que músculos, precisava de visão, de uma estratégia e de uma perseverança inabalável. Naqueles primeiros anos, ele já começava a entender que a América, com toda a sua dureza, também seria o solo onde ele floresceria. Uma terra de oportunidades, onde seus sonhos podem realmente se tornar realidade. After winning the Mr. Universe title, Arnold realized that his bodybuilding journey was just beginning. He was determined to become the greatest bodybuilder in the world, and to do that, he needed more than just physical strength. He needed to be unstoppable. With every workout, with every rep, he gave himself completely to the process, knowing that success wouldn't come overnight. Arnold pushed his body beyond its limits. His obsession with perfection was reflected in his unwavering focus. In 1969, he won the Mr. Olympia title for the first time, and it would be just the first of many. Arnold won the Mr. Olympia 7 times, breaking barriers and setting new standards for bodybuilding. But unlike other champions, he didn't just want fame, he wanted to transform the sport. He wanted people to see bodybuilding not just as a display of strength, but as an art. His dedication and no-limits mentality inspired others to follow suit. He would become the face of bodybuilding and help popularize the sport, making it more accessible and respected. Arnold wasn't just a champion, he was an ambassador for bodybuilding. And the world was starting to take notice. In addition to his sculpted physique, Arnold knew that image was crucial. He began to cultivate his public presence, developing a personal brand that combined his imposing physique with a charismatic personality. He understood that to stand out, he needed to be more than a talented bodybuilder, he needed to be a public figure. Soon, Arnold was more than established as the greatest bodybuilder of all time. But his ambition went beyond the confines of the competition stage. He wanted to be a legend, and that meant going further than any bodybuilder had ever gone before. With 7 Mr. Olympia wins, Arnold Schwarzenegger was already a bodybuilding legend. However, stage fame wasn't enough for him. His dreams were even bigger. He wanted more than just being a successful bodybuilder, he wanted to be a Hollywood star. But to do that, he would have to break away from the stereotypes that surrounded muscular athletes, who were seen as secondary characters or one-dimensional figures. The transition from bodybuilder to actor wasn't easy. When Arnold first arrived in Hollywood, his muscles and Austrian accent were seen as obstacles, not assets. He knew that doors wouldn't open on their own, so he knocked them down. He started with small roles, where his physique and screen presence were noticed more than his acting talent. But he didn't care. Arnold was determined to show the world that he had something more to offer. The big breakthrough came when he was cast as the lead in Conan the Barbarian, 1982. The plot, based on the comic book hero created by Robert E. Howard, gave him the chance to prove that he could be the lead in an action film. His performance in Conan was a surprise, but not as much as the success of The Terminator, 1984, a film that redefined his career. By playing the ruthless cyborg T-800, Arnold demonstrated not only his physique, but also his ability to convey a unique intensity. The combination of his imposing appearance and his ability to act in complex roles made him a global star. From then on, the name Arnold Schwarzenegger was associated with successful films. Films such as Commando, 1985, Predator, 1987, and Terminator 2, Judgment Day, 1991, established him as an icon of the 80s and 90s. His popularity grew exponentially, and the Austrian bodybuilder had become one of the biggest stars in Hollywood. But Arnold's rise didn't stop there. His popularity and influence began to extend beyond the confines of film. What had started as a dream of being just an action star was now expanding into something much bigger. Despite his growing success in Hollywood, Arnold Schwarzenegger was far from just an action star. He knew that to become a truly unforgettable figure, he needed to expand his horizons. The world of the movie industry could be fickle, but his vision for himself went far beyond the silver screen. Arnold wanted to build an empire. He began investing in businesses outside of the entertainment industry. His first steps as an entrepreneur were in the world of fitness, a field he knew deeply. Using his bodybuilding background, he launched a line of dietary supplements and exercise equipment. His brand was built on the public's trust in him, a man who didn't just talk about health, but lived it. He also became a partner in a chain of gyms, helping to expand the fitness market, making it accessible to a wider audience. But his drive didn't stop there. Arnold had bigger ambitions. He began investing in real estate, buying buildings and properties over the years. He dedicated himself to learning the ins and outs of real estate and was soon reaping the rewards of this new field. In a short time, his property portfolio grew, earning him a considerable fortune. Arnold's ability to build a solid personal brand and his business acumen led him to a prominent position. He also began writing books on motivation and success, using his personal story as an example of overcoming adversity. His book, The Education of a Bodybuilder, became a bestseller, and Arnold came to be seen not just as a bodybuilder or actor, but as an authority on topics of motivation and success. His personal brand was built on his impeccable physique, his unbreakable mindset, and his ability to transition between different industries. Arnold Schwarzenegger, the bodybuilder, actor, entrepreneur, and author, was becoming a multifaceted legend. With each new venture, he shattered stereotypes, proving that he was more than just a muscular face and that his influence reached far beyond the silver screen. His career was already showing the world that there were no limits to what he could achieve. Arnold was, in fact, creating an empire that would stand the test of time. Arnold Schwarzenegger was no longer just a bodybuilding icon or a Hollywood star. He had become a public figure with a solid image as an entrepreneur, writer, and motivator. But, as he had always done throughout his life, Arnold had a bigger vision, a goal that went beyond what he had already achieved. He wanted to make a deeper impact on society, and his next venture would be politics. The transition from action star to politician was not an immediate one. When Arnold first began expressing his interest in politics, many doubted his ability to make a change. The world of politics seemed like a far cry from the realm of a former Austrian bodybuilder with a strong accent and a career in action films. However, Arnold had always been someone who ignored the limits imposed by others. He firmly believed that his life experience, overcoming obstacles, achieving success in many fields, and connecting with people was exactly what California needed. In 2003, in an unexpected move, Arnold decided to run for governor of California, challenging then-Governor Gray Davis, who was facing a popularity crisis due to the state's financial issues. Arnold was not a career politician, but his direct approach, charismatic leadership style, and worldwide fame helped him build a base of support. His candidacy was met with skepticism, but also with a wave of enthusiasm, especially from voters who saw him as an outsider to the traditional political scene. He used his name and influence to mount a powerful campaign, appealing directly to voters with promises of change and more efficient administration. In a period marked by political frustration and growing disillusionment with traditional politics, Arnold's image as someone who had overcome hardships and achieved success seemed to many a symbol of hope. When he was elected governor of California, Arnold's victory was not just a personal achievement, but a symbol that someone from outside the political system could make a difference. He took office in November 2003, with a mandate focused on solving the state's financial problems and improving California's infrastructure. As governor, Arnold implemented significant reforms and attempted to balance the state's finances. However, he also faced significant political challenges and was criticized for failing to deliver on all of his promises. Even so, his time as governor helped transform perceptions of politics and showed that Arnold was a man who could defy expectations. After serving 2 terms as governor of California, Arnold Schwarzenegger not only cemented his place in the state's political history, but also demonstrated to the world that his journey knew no bounds. Even after leaving office as governor, he continued to be an influential figure, championing a variety of social and environmental causes. His advocacy for environmental preservation, particularly on issues related to climate change, became one of his most prominent themes. Arnold's vision for the future extended far beyond his own career. He dedicated himself to raising awareness of the need for a sustainable future, promoting policies and initiatives aimed at reducing California's carbon footprint and the use of renewable energy. In 2006, he was instrumental in signing a law that set aggressive targets for reducing California's greenhouse gas emissions, making the state a global leader in the fight against climate change. His passion for the environment reflected his understanding that in order to leave a lasting legacy, it was necessary to protect the planet for future generations. At the same time, Arnold never lost his connection to bodybuilding. He continued to be an active advocate for the sport, organizing competitions such as the Arnold Classic, which became one of the most prestigious bodybuilding events in the world. His personal brand was still associated with his physical image and his philosophy that mental strength and determination were as important as physical strength. However, Arnold's greatest legacy was not limited to bodybuilding, acting, or politics. He became a symbol of perseverance, someone who defied all odds and proved that with vision, discipline, and hard work, there is no limit to what one can achieve. His journey from a poor immigrant in Austria to becoming one of the most recognized men in the world is a success story that inspires millions. In his own words, Arnold summed up his life journey with a simple but powerful phrase: "What you can imagine, you can achieve." He not only imagined a life of success, but went beyond it, creating a reality where limits existed. As he continues to be an influential presence in the world, whether through his advocacy for environmental causes, his public appearances, or his coaching of young athletes, Arnold Schwarzenegger's legacy lives on. He is not just a bodybuilding legend or a former governor, but an example of how to turn dreams into reality, how one man can go beyond expectations and leave an indelible mark on history. A historia de Arnold Schwarzenegger mais do que uma biografia de homem que conquista fama e riqueza. Ela é uma prova viva de que, com determinação, visão e trabalho árduo, é possível superar qualquer obstáculo e transformar sonhos em realidade. De Immigrant pobre a lenda do fisiculturismo, de estrela de Hollywood a governador de California, Arnold provou que não há limites para quem está disposto a ir além do que é esperado. Seu legado não é apenas sobre seus feitos, mas sobre a inspiração que ele deixa para as futuras gerações. Ele nos ensinou que, independentemente de onde começamos, o importante é onde estamos dispostos a chegar. Se você gosta dessa jornada e quer continuar se inspirando com mais histórias incríveis como a de Arnold Schwarzenegger, não esqueça de seguir o canal e curtir este vídeo. A sua jornada de superação comica agora.